Come and run away with us as we explore the Maldives.
So I said, hey, don't you wanna come and run away with me? Hey, won't you come, in the ship by chance? Don't you want a man who fully understands, So I said, hey, don't you wanna come and run away with me? Hey, won't you come and say by chance? Don't you want a man who fully understands a sailor's heart.
Leaving the harbour of Gull in Sri Lanka, we travel 447 nautical miles to Uligan. Day 1, crossing to Maldives. No wind.
No wind. No wind on the forecast for the next 4 days. So we are essentially a big old motorboat.
This ship's about. Oh, this big guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm sort of aiming for at the moment. Riding the current, hoping for some wind. We'll see what happens.
Alright, we'll say hi to everybody for the first and we'll see you in the morning.
Will do, guys. Have a great night and we'll chat in the morning. Day 2. And I'm the only one standing. Sarah's laid out. Sea sinkers is a tummy bug. What do you reckon?
I don't normally get seasick.
No. But you are, Lord. You look like shit. In a beautiful way. So we motored pretty much all night last night. As expected, the wind didn't come in until about 5 o'clock this morning when it picked right up. Actually, we had about 16, 17 knots and we threw the sails at about 5 a.m. this morning. It was pitch black and it was great. We took off. I think we're doing 10 knots for the first couple of hours. And again, it was forecast to drop out again by now. I don't even know what time it is. I think it's after lunch, but it hasn't. We've still got 15 knots. Currently doing anywhere between 6.5, 7.5 over ground with the swell. Still got a bloody long way to go though, 287 miles, so we're not even halfway yet. It's going to be a slow trip, and the forecast is for the wind to drop out tonight, so we'll see how we go. But we're full canvas. The sails in all their glory. Just ticking along nicely. There's a bit of swell here. This is crazy though, right? So this is probably a good, I don't know, you can never see it in the camera, but that's probably a good 1.5 meters, nearly 2 meters on the big ones. This was completely flat this morning, an absolute glass out. So this is just sea state, this isn't swell. That there has just been whipped up by 15 to 16 knots of breeze. So, I mean, you can imagine what would happen if you got 40 knots out here. It'd be hectic. My poor first mate, she is not good. The kids are just nerding out, being useless. Although Brody did a pretty wicked watch last night. His first shift went all the way through till midnight, so that's good. Charlie's just sat there and stayed cute. I slept the most last night. Yep, that's right. The captain slept all night. That's exactly how it should be. We want cigarettes. I don't smoke. Probably been out at sea 2 months. They were friendly, it was just begging me for cigarettes. I'm like, I don't have any, man, I'm sorry.
Day 3. What'd you do this morning?
I was laying on the day bed and I was a little bit cold. So I grabbed the blanket and went to put it over myself, and unbeknownst to me, my mobile phone was on the blanket too, so as I did that, it just straight over into the water. Gone. It's probably still sinking. We dropped it in 4,500 meters of water, so there's a good chance it still hasn't hit the bottom yet.
Yeah, there's no retrieving that one. We got your last one out. I'm feeling slightly better today, but man, I was down and out yesterday, green around the gills. Thank God for Vegemite and crackers. They seriously help with seasickness. just snack on those throughout the day when I'm feeling a bit queasy.
A bunch of psychopaths in the water where they can't see the bottom in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
Day 4 was a Gary glass out with an algae bloom and a stunning sunset.
Well, we made it to the Maldives, or Maldives as the locals call it. Man, how pretty is this place? Look at this. And I jumped in the water before to check our hulls and everything because I hadn't seen them since we splashed. And we're in 22 meters of water, and I jumped in and I can see starfish on the sand in 22 meters of water, so that's a bloody good start. The process to check in this morning was spectacular. Quite possibly one of the best countries we've ever checked into. They were on board. We couldn't film them. We were on board, and I think it took them 15 minutes. They had all their paperwork sorted out. They were so efficient. It was stamp, sign, stamp, sign, stamp, sign, done. They were finished. They gave us a few spots to go snorkeling. They said you can pick your passports up this afternoon from your agent who you're going to meet in town, and that was it. They said enjoy yourselves. But anyway, we're going to head in this afternoon, go and meet our agent Asadullah, I think his name is, in full, and get our passports back, pay our fees, which aren't cheap. But in the end, I think it works out to be just over $700 Australian, which is about, I don't know, $500 US for us to be here for a month. So it's not cheap, but I think it'll be worth it. It's like from what we're seeing right now, and this isn't even the best of it, it's pretty spectacular.
We begin our journey in the north in Uligan, a great location to check in and make your way south through the many atolls of the Maldives. Yachts anchor just outside of the harbour, but plans are underway to build a marina here. Our agent Asad was exceptionally welcoming, even offering us drinks and snacks during Ramadan when he could not eat. He proudly took us on a tour of his hometown, showcasing the school and the world's first hybrid AC-coupled renewable energy microgrid, as well as their reverse osmosis plant. What a cool way to get around the island. We were really impressed with the tidiness of the township, and we were able to pick up a few groceries here. Our first stop was just across the way from Uligan, and one of my absolute favourite islands.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's a huge big manta ray just swimming straight past us right now.
Oh my god!
Look at him.
Oh my god!
Sarah's spirit animal right there. Oh wow. How's this for a little location?
Spotting turtle tracks on the beach, we soon discovered there was a stranded turtle, so we decided to help her out. I've just been keeping her wet and shaded.
Yeah. The tide's still going out, so I think if we leave her, she's just going to cook in the sun. I reckon if we try and can't lift her over that, I reckon if we try and just sort of shimmy
guide her
here.
that way. You've got this, big girl. You've got this. She just took a breath.
Will you help us too? No, that way. Go. Come on. She keeps turning in the rocks. Listen to the deep for it.
She knows that's where the sea is though.
Go. Come on.
Almost there. There you go. Look how close you are. Yeah, you got this. You got this. Yay! She's free. Go, girl. Woohoo!
Oh,
Well done, boys.
it was so heavy.
That's got to make your day, freeing a turtle. Feels good, doesn't it?
He took off for someone who looked like she was apparently exhausted.
Yeah. She just needed to reach the sea.
I hope that was the right thing to do, I don't know.
I think so, babe. Like, she couldn't get through there. She knew that the sea was that way, but there's just a wall there.
She left the egg laying run a little bit late, I think.
Yeah.
Look, the thing is, the tide comes in another 6 hours. She might have been okay, but she was just, when we found her, she was so hot.
And so tight. Her shell was dry.
It was hot, it was cooking.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the crows were coming in.
Yeah.
They were going to eat her alive. Now that feels good. Well done, boys.
So heavy.
And when we went snorkeling, we had an encounter with dolphins. But sadly, I scared them off with my excitement. Sitting down at lunch. There's dolphins just cruising on by, back to the boat. And just like clockwork, the dolphins came through every single day. When friends arrived ashore, we spent many afternoons on the beach with these spectacular sundowners. And Broads finally got his fishing fix. What have you got there? Oh, well done, man.
I just sit here and flick, and I just caught squid. After squid.
Some calamari. Yum, yum. It was nice to sit around a fire on shore, and Frank even cooked up a fish for us one night.
How was the feeling of not being able
What do you call this one, Frank?
Really difficult. Pretty good, eh?
Wow.
Think about it.
It's what you do with it. It's what you do with it.
My God.
The hermit crab's tucked into it,
Nah, Frank just threw some skin over here. Where is he?
Like Bragg climbing up my leg here.
and even this shrew wanted in on the action. These little guys have a fast metabolism, so they have to consume twice their body weight each day. We had a sweet wing-on-wing spinnaker run down to our next anchorage. The colour of the water would really take your breath away. Dolphins right in front of us. Dolphins guided us in to our next reef anchorage. How beautiful is that? There was great fish life and snorkeling to be had here, and Brendan even managed to catch a couple of crays. One he gifted to Frank, and the other one we cooked up with this amazing paella for dinner.
I'll show you real quick the lagoon that we're aiming for right now. This is our SATs on OpenCPN. There it is right there. We marked, dropped a little anchor mark on it. Slowly zoom in on that. Look at that. Just schmick. So we'll try and come in this little channel here, which is apparently about 200 meters long. And then this is the resort here. And we'll do our best. I reckon we'll go and anchor over on this side here and stay well away from them. And hopefully they just leave us alone and let us stay there for a night or two. What's cooking? Good looking?
Updating No Foreign Land.
No Foreign Land. If you don't follow us already on No Foreign Land, pull your finger out and start, because we're awesome. And Sarah's going to a lot of trouble. She's going to a lot of effort to basically put all of our marks in and do a big spiel on the sides about all of our anchorages and places to visit and places not to visit, which they're few and far between, but there's definitely a couple there that we're going to try and tell people to steer clear of, and there's some that we want to make sure people actually do visit, eh? Yeah, good talk. Boom.
Being a former pilot, Brendan had a lot of fun watching the planes come and go in this anchorage. Did you know that the Maldives has the largest seaplane operation in the world? I whipped up some seafood pizzas for Frank's birthday.
Birthday boy. Happy birthday, mate.
Look at this pizza. I've never seen anything like it.
Made with love, mate. Made with love.
Oh no. That is good looking pizza.
We're going to a resort.
And it was really nice hanging out rooftop on Charmaness for sundowners.
Well, we have got another bloody spectacular day sailing in the Maldives. Look at this, full canvas, the most benign seas, about 8 knots of breeze, just bouncing between islands. We were going to go to Chagos after the Maldives, Maldives, however you pronounce it, but we kind of put our submission in a little bit late, and it looks like it's going, well, we haven't heard anything, and we're supposed to be down again in the next 2.5 weeks to check out, which kind of makes me sad because we're having the best bloody time here and we don't really want to check out that soon. So what we're thinking, to save a shitload of money, because for Chagos you've got to have this insane insurance health cover, I think it's like a retrieval cover for, you know, if something goes wrong. The insurance has got to cover a couple of $100,000 per person, and it ended up being wildly expensive for us to insure the family. Not to mention, then it's also 100 to 150 British pound per week to be there. So, you know, for us to go down there for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, is going to cost us, with insurance and fuel and everything else we've got to do, is probably well over 1,000 to 2,000 Australian dollars. Our visa here in the Maldives is good for 3 months, and up to 45 days. You don't pay anything really extra on top of your fees. So I think we're just going to give it a miss. But for the moment, you know, right now we're sailing slowly. We've got 8.5 knots. We're sailing at 4. It's calm. It's comfy. We're going to this gorgeous bloody anchorage where it's got an abandoned resort. The island itself is like a half crescent moon, where you can go and tuck in, and it's almost 360-degree protection with an abandoned resort on the beach, and really pretty. We've been recommended it by a few other cruisers, so really looking forward to this one today, and I think we might end up spending a couple of days there. So stick around, and we'll show you what the cruising life is like in the Maldives. It's pretty bloody good so far.
And this incredible spot was a resort island that was sadly abandoned just before its completion in 2011. What a waste. Broads made good use of the old structures for fishing. And with a bird's eye view from crystal clear waters, he could see that he got onto a GT. But soon enough, a shark came in for his fish. And it was quite the battle keeping the fish away from the shark. I did my best to try and reach him in time and intervene. But when the fish broke free from the lure, he lived to swim another day, escaping both Brody and the shark. Poor Broads was devastated. Friends of ours had explored the grounds of the resort, so we decided to go ashore and do the same. So all the hardwood decking has definitely seen better days. You can see the old pipes that were in there. It's fascinating to see how quickly Mother Nature takes back over when places like this are left uninhabited.
Pretty poorly built.
Well, I mean, that's hardwood, but I think because they've put it straight on the ground, it's rotted and there's termites gotten into it, and it's just...
But I mean, this was nearly brand new, or nearly finished in 2011.
Yeah.
So it's only 10 years and the whole place is going to wreck and ruin. Like the entire decking structure. Like, can you imagine the upkeep and maintenance that it would have cost to keep this place pristine if this is what's happened so quickly?
Yeah. Saltwater environment, man. It's pretty harsh climate.
Oh yeah, and I mean all the buildings obviously didn't have their waterproofing finished, so it was never going to last. But I just find it crazy how quickly it's...
Yeah. So for those that don't know, these pandanus palms, you can actually eat the fruit off them. The Aboriginals in Australia used to tuck into them, and here we've got the hermit crabs tucking into them. They must be nice and sweet once they're ripe like that. Some men offloading goods from the resort onto this barge told us we weren't allowed on shore unless we had special permission from Malay, so we were soon turned around. We opted to go snorkeling instead. Nature had taken over once more, and it was nice to see some coral growing on the old piers. And I'm not sure if it's the same trevally, but this guy came in to say hello. When I came across these stripy mackerel, I was surprised to realise that they're filter feeders.
Sometimes we have to sort of question ourselves why we're even leaving an anchorage, especially when it's one like this. Just came out here a second ago and I could see the anchor chain the whole way to the anchor. Look at that. There's the chain. All the way out, and we're in about 5 metres of water. Sure you want to leave?
Yeah.
We're done?
There's another atolls to explore.
Yeah. You can tell we're getting back close to the equator. Calm water, unstable skies.
Next, we made a quick stop in Nafaru to get some groceries, and it had the cleanest harbour I have ever seen. Got Bernie chock-a-block, got some eggs, some bread, fresh provisions.
That wasn't a bad little shop, eh? We got enough to get us through for a little bit longer, but we can just keep stopping at these islands all the way down and just get stuff as we need it. Yeah, rather than doing a massive provision, we'll just keep doing this.
Yeah. We celebrated Brendo's birthday in this next spot.
As this for a cool birthday present. Frank turned up before, or Frank and Kamar from Shamaness turned up. I think he and Maxwell put this together today. It's my new first aid kit. Because I'm the guy that gets patched up all the time, so I thought it'd be fitting to bring me a first aid kit. Because we're in the Maldives and alcohol's pretty hard to come by. I'm getting pretty low on beer, so they made this little homemade first aid kit, and it's just a beer carton wrapped up. So big thanks, Frank. You're a bloody lifesaver, mate. I'm gonna cut this open and give you a shirt back. Heading over to Shamaness for birthday dinner. Look at that.
Happy birthday. Hold it up and show me.
To you. Happy birthday, dear Brendan.
The men.
Happy birthday to you.
Hip hip,
Hooray!
hip hip,
Hooray!
hip hip.
Hooray!
Thank you guys, that's awesome. Dave,
It's even
the man drinks.
Brendan expressed his wish for man drinks and KFC. And these guys came up with the goods.
Oh, that's fried chicken.
Oh
So you got your man drinks and your chicken.
Man drinks and a bucket of chicken. Brilliant. Thanks for that took some effort. Thank you for that.
I love Maxwell's
I
little
love presents like
chicken.
Maxwell does an awesome job.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just, you know, it's good when someone puts that sort of effort in. It's funny.
We've got the slaw and the potato salad.
We're like...
Birthday boy. So spoiled.
That's kind of cool, eh?
Happy birthday, Brendo, and thanks Shamaness for such a memorable evening. The next day was Easter Sunday, and can you believe it? We saw bunnies on the beach. And just like his last birthday, Brendo caught another wahoo.
No, that's two. It's just... You get him?
This lagoon was another one of our favourite anchorages, and we had the entire thing all to ourselves. Who needs a pool when you've got this in your backyard?
How's it hanging down there, bro? You look pretty relaxed right now. Stopped at Excelsior. Right?
I thought he's lost.
He's lost.
Yeah, it's confused.
The snorkeling on the outer reef was pretty good too. We even saw reef sharks as well, but they were pretty skittish, and I don't blame them. This is how Brody found a couple on the beach. Next stop was the popular tourist island, fondly known as Cokes, aptly named after the Coca-Cola factory that's here.
Very nice, and there's the ATM right there.
The Maldives is 100% Muslim, so there are bikini beaches set up for Western tourists. Tourists should remain conservatively dressed in all other areas.
The welcoming committee. Rainy day, sitting having our coffee, and there's a manta just casually swimming around the back of the boat. Oh, there's three!
And I just couldn't help myself. I had to get in with my happy flappy friends. I love manta ray, and this one even appeared to have a love heart marking on its back. We anchored in this sweet spot called Steve's Spot, so the boys could catch a few waves.
Morning! Winds are light today, so we've got the spinny up. And we're making our way past Malé. So part of the condition of our visa is to not go to Malé unless we acquired this tracking device that you have to pay a daily rate for, and you have to pay for the unit itself. So we opted not to go to Malé, which I'm pretty happy about, to be honest. It's a very populated, very polluted city, and it would probably taint our experience of the Maldives. So we're just going to enjoy all these beautiful atolls.
And we called into this anchorage just for the night, where we saw an unusual sight.
That is big!
We made a quick stop at Marfushi for a few supplies, but we got out of there quick smart because there's lots of boat traffic here for tourists.
Supermarket.
Right, so we're just weaving our way through the reef now, and you'll see the area I was talking about. We're just coming through here now. This is the cutting. Come on, keep up. That they've blasted into the reef, I guess you could say. And then they started to build this area here where they've got breakwalls and everything in place, but they've not done anything. So we're going to try and get in here and tuck into this little bay here for a bit of protection. But this is what I'm talking about, the importance of satellite imagery. Like, look at these reefs all around here, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing on Raymarine to tell you otherwise. So that's what we'll do. We're going to try and sneak in that little channel there. Apparently, oh, like, looking at the colours there, you sort of learn to gauge the depth of the water based on the colour. I'm assuming that's going to be about 3 meters deep. So see how we go. We're going to cut through now.
So even though this looks really shallow, we've got 3 meters under keel. Brendo steers with his feet so he can poke his head out the side and see the reef really clearly. That way he's got a good indication of where everything is, and he knows he's got plenty of room on the port side. Scuba divers? So get a bit nervous when scuba divers don't use the flag to indicate that they're in the water. And you just see bubbles coming up. It's pretty poor drills actually. What are you learning today?
Polynomials.
And what is a polynomial?
What's that?
Yeah, that hurts my brain. What are you learning today, Charlize Rose?
Percentages and rational numbered word problems.
That also hurts my brain. Good luck with that.
We snuck into this little spot to get some protection from storms that were coming.
Oh, aircon. Oh my god. Can we just sit in here for the rest of the day? Would that be weird?
We found everyone in this town to be super friendly, and we treated ourselves to burgers for lunch. The humidity we were feeling here was next level, and we spent a lot of time jumping in and out of the water. Brendo even gave himself a haircut.
I'll just show you really quickly on the satellite what we're looking at for this afternoon, or for this evening's entertainment. So this is windy.com. It's actually a bloody brilliant program for anyone out there who's using weather apps and whatnot for sailing. This one's just been fantastic for us lately. Surprisingly, the winds have been deadly accurate. They all use the EMCWF, GFS files, all the gribs, but this one's just been fantastic. So that's us right there, and this is what's coming. Anyway, it's a pretty bloody huge system. So this to me looks like a big low pressure system. I'll zoom out and I'll show you, if I can pick the wind up, I might actually be able to show you the ITCZ, which is the Intertropical Convergence Zone. It's essentially the equator for weather, if you know what I mean. So basically all of this weather here is drawing into the ITCZ, and all this weather up here is drawing into the ITCZ. So this here, if you can see this line of, I guess, benign weather, no wind, is basically an extreme area of low pressure, where all of the cold air is basically coming in from the Hadley cells either side of the ITCZ. The cold air drops here and then comes back up towards the equator, and as it gets here it heats and heats and heats, and obviously, you know, hot air rises, so it comes straight back up here, and this is the lifting effect. So when you get that really, really dominant lift and low pressure, that's obviously where you get the big storm belt. So this is the ITCZ here. That hitherto is basically the bottom of the Maldives. Now the ITCZ was sitting down here about Diego Garcia, Chagos Islands about 2 weeks ago, so it's actually shifting quite quickly now. We're unfortunately up here, which is just on the leading edge of the northern side of the ITCZ, which is why we're copping all this shit. So it's not often that we get excited about rain, but it's been probably ever bit of 5 months since we've seen proper rain, so this is just an absolute treat.
We enjoyed an amazing experience just outside of Fuladu, diving with tawny nurse sharks. Tour boats attract the sharks by feeding them, but they still came over to Excelsior to say hello. It was a little unnerving at first, but these guys were really graceful. They were a little clumsy at times too. And we can all now say we have swum with a shiver of sharks. What an incredible experience.
How cool is that?
Today we are making tracks for South Ari Atoll. We're using the winds today, which is great to get across there. We've got a light westerly between 8 and 9 knots, and we're doing between 5 and 5.5 speed over ground, so it should make for a nice passage. How's your schoolwork going?
There are often whale sharks and manta ray spotted in this anchorage. We did spot the one manta, but he was crowded by tourists and I kind of felt sorry for him. We sailed through this stunning atoll on our way to the next spot.
I think we found paradise.
How good is this?
And this island was another one of our favourites. The boys could swim straight off the boat into the surf.
We've got to start making some tracks. We've got to get out of here before the monsoon kicks in, otherwise we won't be leaving.
We finally arrived in the most southern atoll of Fadu to check out.
There's a big school of maybe, I don't know, they're either sardines or something. And Brody reckons there's about 20 black-ship reef sharks and a couple of big pelagics just smashing through them. Oh yeah, you can see the shark fins. He's right, you can see all the fins. I've just snuck out this morning to have a little sticky beak at the water and everything, as I do every morning. I hope he's still there. Check out what is just hanging out under our boat right now. Look at that. Monster. Huge big barracuda. That is so cool.
Our last provision run
Final
before
little,
we cross to the African continent.
yep. Last little bit of groceries, and we don't really know how well we've stocked up. You know, we've never done a 2-week passage, and
We'll be fine.
yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. We'll be laughing. Heard something funny yesterday from our friends on Champagne. They reckon when they're doing a big passage like this, the first 2 to 3 days everyone just gets to eat whatever they want.
I like that.
Yeah.
We had a fantastic time in the Maldives and we're so glad we came. Join us next time as we tackle the Indian Ocean. Don't forget to like and subscribe.